My name is Benjamin. I'm with Vekoma. I'm the head of concept engineering, and right now we are walking the Vlodrop test land. So Vlodrop is our head office in the Netherlands, and this is the back of our lot where we put up test setups and anything that we want to build of scale and test before we send it out to a park. The structure that you're looking at, part of it is going to be shipped to a park location. Essentially, that's the part that you already see has been painted in the right colors for this park. The other parts are, at this point, just part of the test setup. We might end up reusing them, but they're not part of the same delivery schedule, if you will, in that sense. But the whole thing, as it stands here, is our tilt module. So actually it's not just a seesaw, but everything down there to where it's connected to its temporary foundations is a module that we can pick up, and within certain boundary conditions that we have developed, we can put it on any tilt coaster design in the future. So we can go taller, smaller, longer, shorter, we can put different train lengths on there, and we don't have to redevelop and go through all this process with every new project that we do with a tilt. The track that you see lying around here is part of this project as well. So the red track and the stuff on the tarps, it's equipment track. So parts of the chain lift and the brake zones that we fit with equipment already. So they are completely wrapped, and they will be part of the shipments with the painted stuff on the tilt as well. The train that we put on the test track a couple of days ago is part of the whole test program, because we want to ride, cycle, test this whole thing with a vehicle in different load configurations. So as you can imagine, load shifting front, or the center of gravity shifting to the front or to the rear when the train is only loaded in the front and the rear, has a big influence on the performance of the ride cycle and also the release point basically of the vehicle vertically. There's a claw all the way up to the tall end. That's the one that's actually grabbing the train from behind. So that's the primary holding mechanism. It will latch onto the bar on the rear coach. And then there's a secondary safety at the front, which falls away when all systems green light the vertical docking. So we're not gonna just cycle the seesaw up and down and then take everything off, because it needs to be completely functional and has gone through a whole duration test as well. So we're gonna put at least so many days of cycles without fault on this thing with a vehicle. The thing that we're looking at now is more integral system focused. So it's not just vehicle, it's not just track, but it's the whole switch setup that will run through a whole test program to make sure that this thing does exactly what it needs to do. We're going to test different cases, different load configurations on the train, and also different failure cases to see how this thing actually operates and nail down the actual final tilt motion. The tilt coaster is going to be like a thrill coaster success for us, because what you've seen us do with recent ride layouts with more conventional lifts or launches is something that we can do similarly or better with the tilt module as well. And it's also very marketable. So what we see at this point, I mean, we haven't even put the first one out there yet. The prototype of this next generation isn't even running. We see a lot of demand, and we have a couple of sales already. So I see these things pop up in different places, and it gives me a lot of good rides and good stuff to work on in the future.